If you're in the market for a new monitor, this is the video for you. Welcome to the channel for the first time viewers. Welcome back from my existing subscribers. We're going to talk about the Dell S2721DGF, which is a monitor that I recently picked up from a Geek Squad replacement. I'm probably going to butcher my replaced monitor's name. I think it was the Dell SDG 2716, I think DGF, maybe not DGF, but that was essentially the model of it, right? DGR, I think. But anyways, that monitor was a fantastic 1440p monitor. It was $600. I got it for $300. Had to make a long drive to get it. So it was definitely worth the drive, right? This is the successor to that monitor, and it is a FreeSync / G-Sync monitor. So what that means is that it's FreeSync compatible. I've never had any issues. FreeSync picks it up, and it's just one of the recognized monitors. So, or G-Sync, I should say. And so it has no issues as far as that goes. Now, when you use FreeSync, you'll have FreeSync Premium, which is like the highest tier of FreeSync. So it's getting the best of both worlds in one monitor. But what I love about this monitor is that the actual, the 1440p resolution makes gaming very hard to go back to 1080p. It looks muddy after that. Now, the downside is you're going to need a stronger graphics card if you're on PC. But if you happen to be on Xbox Series X or Series S, then that HDMI 2.0 is going to help you out because you'll get the 1440p resolution with 120 frames per second, so 120 hertz. It supports that. That last monitor that I had did not support that. I'll also add that the way I have it set up is that FreeSync actually works through HDMI. So I'm using one HDMI for a PS5, and I'm using another HDMI for my AMD build. The whole reason I wanted to kick over to this one is because, I wanted to get higher refresh rate, but I wanted to stop using my DisplayPort splitter, right? So I bought a splitter on Amazon, but the issue was that it would disconnect, it would black out for a split second every now and then. So it was a problem. This solution, however, is fantastic. Right now, I saw it on sale for $377. So make sure you look around. I'm going to include my Amazon link if you want to buy it and give me credit. But if you see it for a cheaper price somewhere, which is very likely, go with that. It's still a good monitor. You don't have to get it from Amazon. So Best Buy will price match if you can see that it's in stock and you want to go pick it up that day. I think it was Dell's website specifically had it for like $377. So you can just take that price, head over to Best Buy, and instead of paying $500, walk out with that monitor for $377. So if you don't see it on sale, just find a place, a big box store, and then try to get that price match. So back to the things I love about this monitor, man. So that HDMI solution I was telling you about, it really works out for me because you get 144 hertz on my AMD build. FreeSync still works, so although I don't have it on, it works right over HDMI. Now, G-Sync would have worked over HDMI as well, but I will give you this caveat. The only way you get the 165 hertz refresh rate is through DisplayPort. So you have to hook it up through DisplayPort. And essentially, that's what I did, is I had, and G-Sync doesn't work over HDMI. FreeSync does, but G-Sync doesn't. So essentially, the way I had it set up is I hooked up my NVIDIA card through the DisplayPort, and everything's been right as rain. All the flickering is gone. It has automatic source detection, and it works really well. Like, it takes about a second, and it usually does one quick flicker when it actually pretty much selects the source and says, okay, this is an actual source I want to use. And after that, you're good to go. It's an IPS screen, which I don't know if I mentioned. I know I mentioned it was an LG monitor, but it's an IPS screen. The colors are out of this world. Like, out of this world. Like, it's crazy. The one thing I will say that is a hell of crazy negative, which I didn't really get this monitor for it, is HDR is trash. So if you were looking for an HDR monitor, this probably ain't the play. I don't know what HDR is like on the consoles, but when I was playing with it on PC, both my NVIDIA and my AMD card, what happens is, like, when you exit games, there's like this screen where the desktop will adjust to readjust the HDR. But then what ends up happening is, I don't know if it gets stuck. I don't know if it's Windows. I don't know if it's drivers, but it's happening on both cards. There's this like washed out look, almost as if you turned your brightness to like 110, right? And then you can't really make out what's going on your screen. So it like washes everything out. You turn off HDR, everything looks great. So for the little bit of extra, the little bit extra deeper colors, it's not worth it to me because the monitor by itself without HDR looks straight up fantastic. Like I don't know, it just looks fantastic. The other thing is the hub that is attached to it. I was debating between the LG, I can't think of the name of it right now, but they're top of the line LG 1440p 165 Hz. It's the same one, right? And that's what made me swing with this one. Is as I was looking at details, they're saying it's the same panel, so they're using that LG panel, so it looks the same, the quality is the same. And I was like, I bet. Well, I definitely want the hub, and to get the LG, you'd have to get the 4K variant. And I wasn't trying to shell out that much money, especially if it was only going to have HDMI 2.0, not 2.1. So what I ended up doing is I went with this this Dell, which was a better choice. And with the hub, you have a cable that passes through the monitor and it activates all of the hubs. So I have my headset plugged in, just like my last one. I have my headset plugged in. I have my mouse plugged in. There's a fast charger directly underneath the front side, so you can charge another device. I don't use that too much unless I'm like playing a game and the controller starts dying. Then I'll plug it into the monitor instead of the PC. But outside of that, I got the monitor, or not the monitor, the headset and the mouse, or yeah, the headset and the mouse are the two things that I have plugged in without any issues. There's still another couple ports. So like I said, the fast charging port, and I think there's one more port. For speakers, I have it set up so that my speakers are just these Logitech desk speakers. They plug straight into the monitor, so I can control the volume directly from the actual speakers themselves versus on the PC. What I've noticed is that if I lower the volume on the PC, my recording volume sometimes goes down. So I crank the PC volume to 100 and I manage it from the actual device itself. But yeah, overall, like I said, the HDMI 2.0, 1440p, making everything look super crisp. The backlight is okay in the back. It's kind of gimmicky. It take it as you will. The preset I use for the refresh rate is super fast. That way I don't have any ghosting. For those of you that are looking at that, the hub is a big deal for me. I don't like to have everything plugged into the back of my PC. So it kind of gives me that little bit of extra wiggle room, especially with some of these devices that overheat. Like I used to have a Turtle Beach wireless headset, and where I had it plugged into the back in the IO, what would typically happen is that the heat would bounce off the wall and overheat the adapter. So the receiver would get hot and then the connection would start to crackle or drop. So that's all done now because the hub. The 165 Hertz is really cool, especially at 1440p. That's pretty wild. And yeah, the fact that if you do have a Xbox, a next generation Xbox or current generation Xbox, you'll be able to get that 120 Hertz is pretty cool as well. Hopefully someday they add that 1440p support for PS4 or PS5, because right now it's either you got to go 4K with HDMI 2.1 to get that 120 Hertz, or you can do 1080p 120 Hertz, and I don't know. I feel like that's kind of corny. But overall, get this monitor. It's the best purchase as far as like gaming monitors I've ever made, so I can comfortably say go ahead and get this one, especially if you're in the market for a new monitor, whether you're on console or whether you're on PC. The colors like literally blow me away, and that was the beginning of the whole process. But I love this monitor now, and if I ever needed another one, I'd probably get the same exact thing or whatever is newest at the time. And the fact that it doesn't matter which graphics card you have, you're still going to get the best performance out of it, I think is a big deal too, because then you don't have to pay that premium that, you know, some of the GeForce monitors, GeForce, like the last one I bought, which was the same model, but the GeForce variant was $600, and the AMD variant, the FreeSync variant, was like $400. So this one is more along the lines of in the middle, and it definitely feels premium. So let me know what you guys think. What monitor are you using? What have you got your eye on? And yeah, we'll have a chat about it in the comment section below. You guys be easy. I'll catch you in the next one.